Hi everyone, welcome to my seminar. My name is Yolanda Rodriguez. I am a student at ACHS. They're located in Portland, Oregon. I am studying alternative medicine. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about stress management. Everyone experiences stress, especially here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, considering we live in a big city. So today we're going to kind of cover stress management, what stress is, how it affects our bodies, and how help relieve some of those stresses at home, and where we won't have to go to a doctor or have to have medication to help us with our stress. So as you see, we'll be covering all of these areas: stress relief with meditation, stress relief with yoga, stress relief with aromatherapy, stress relief with nature, stress relief with home remedies, your adrenal glands, and the different remedies you can use at home. All right, the definition of stress. Stress is a state of mental or emotional strain and or tension from a very demanding circumstances. All right, so here we are, a list of things that cause stress. So as you see, work, all of us always stress out about work, whether it's waking up on time or getting to work on time. Relationship problems. Every relationship has issues. None of them are perfect. Appointments. Being able to get to your appointments, managing them properly, and being able to work appointments, kids, school if you have school. Finances, I feel, is a big one that everyone stresses about, because who doesn't stress about money? Changes, when people go through a lot of different changes, whether it's at home, work, school, maybe their emotional changes for young kids, teenagers, their puberty. Neighborhoods, obviously here in Milwaukee, we have a lot of areas where most of us don't want to live, or some of us have to drive through that we really don't want to. And then we all have our family issues, things that we just can't escape. They're always going to be there. Deadlines, lack of sleep, a social life, death, whether it's family or friends, all the responsibilities that we have on our shoulders, on top of lack of support from family, friends, our bosses, coworkers, and relocation. Sometimes we have to relocate for jobs and for schools, and they're always not the best, and it is automatically causes our body stress because we're worried about what it's going to be like, how are the people there, etc. So these are some of the main issues of stress that we experience in our everyday life. All right, dealing with stress and how to overcome it. So stress management. So time management for me is a very big one, considering I am very busy, always running around, and I always feel like I'm running around with like a chicken with her head cut off. So time management is very important. I always feel extremely stressed out when I'm running around and I don't have everything planned out properly. So if you know that you have to be somewhere by 10, start your day a little earlier. If you know that it takes you an hour and a half to get the kids ready, then you know that, what time you should get up and start getting them ready. If you know it takes 20 minutes to drive to your appointment, make sure you leave 30 minutes earlier so it gives you that time, that 10-minute window, so you don't have to feel so stressed and worried about getting there in time. Another one for me is meditation. Meditation for me, even a few minutes in the bathtub for some peace and quiet, it's always really good. Yoga helps with your posture and balancing, so yoga for me is a big one. And nature. When I'm extremely stressed out, I like to go to our local Seven Bridges, and going into there, I feel like by the time I come out, the woods have cleansed me. It's almost like going into a car wash when you go into nature. So you go in and it's like all the trees and all the nature just help relax you, soothe you, and cleanse you. And when you come out, you always feel a lot better. Some people help their stress by exercise. Sometimes they're very stressed out and they'll go for a run, or they go for a jog or a walk, or they'll go to the gym and lift weights, which that's always good. But sometimes with exercise and when people are stressed out, they overdo it. And overdoing it, you can still harm yourself. So you always have to be very cautious when you use exercise as a stress management. All right, so the effects of stress on our bodies. So for our behavior, it causes insomnia, restlessness, loss of appetite. Some people end up um, using and abusing drugs. They're very accident prone because they're not paying attention. They're kind of lost in thought, which that would be me because I would trip over air. And loneliness. Now, for our emotions, stress causes us to be irritable, depressed, loss of confidence, indifference, and as well as not letting us sleep well with insomnia. The body, same thing, insomnia. So you can kind of see stress affects our sleep dramatically. For our body, stress can cause oral ulcers and dryness in your mouth. It causes heart disease and hypertension. It causes menstrual disorders. So for women, it can actually mess up our cycles. So if you know every month you get it on the 15th, but this month you haven't really gotten it, that could be due to stress that you're under. And then it can also cause recurrent vaginal infections and premature ejaculation in men. It also causes headaches and skin problems such as eczema and psoriasis, excessive hair loss, and balding, neck and shoulder pain, musculoskeletal aches, and lower back pain. Now, I would have to say that the pain for me is a big one. Besides insomnia, when I am stressed out, I do find that my pain in my neck and my shoulders, where I normally have pain, it amplifies. Now, for your mind, worrying, foggy thinking, impaired judgment, hasty decisions, negativity, and indecision. So those are some of the things that stress will cause us to do. So you would make decisions when you're under stress that you might not normally make. And for a lot of us, that is a big issue when being hasty, especially in stressful circumstances. And the best person can get themselves in trouble very easily just because stress made them make a hasty decision at the wrong place at the wrong time, especially here in this big city. Yep, I lost my mouse. All right, time management. So we kind of covered time management very little a couple slides ago, but here are some ways to help with that. Set priorities, organize your day, tackle your toughest jobs first, minimize your times, avoid procrastination. That is me. I am like the queen of procrastination. And do not be a perfectionist. That is also me. I try and perfect everything, and it is very stressful trying to be that way. So you kind of have to stop and reflect on yourself and kind of tell yourself, okay, it doesn't need to be perfect. So these are some ways that you can help with your time management if you feel that time management is one of your stressors. Meditation and stress. So these are some of the benefits of meditation and stress. So, gaining a new perspective on stressful situations, building skills to manage your stress, increasing self-awareness, focusing on the present, reducing negative emotions, increasing imagination and creativity, and increasing your patience and your tolerance. Now, living again in this big city, we're like number 5 on the poverty list. So here there is lots of stressors, and meditation will help you with your patience and your tolerance for those who are giving you a hard time, or just making fun of you, trying to get a reaction out of you, things like that. Meditation can help you with the patience and the tolerance. All right, yoga and stress. The health benefits in yoga include stress reduction. It also helps reduce stress and anxiety and enhance your mood and your overall sense of well-being. It improves your fitness. Practicing yoga leads to improved balance, flexibility, range of motion, and strength. Management of chronic conditions. Yoga can help reduce risk factors for chronic diseases such as heart disease, high blood pressure, and for me, yoga also helps with fibromyalgia very well. Yoga might also help alleviate chronic conditions, as I said, fibromyalgia, as well as depression, pain, anxiety, and insomnia. Aromatherapy and stresses. So aromatherapy is most effective when you involve your sense of touch and smell. So the sense of touch, you can use your essential oils for massage or in a warm bath. It helps relieve stress, and the oils, when they soak into your skin, hit your bloodstream right away. So they help loosen the blood flow and improve your circulation, as well as being a great stress reliever. And then the sense of smell, there are a variety of scented oils and candles and that can be used for stress. The combination of both scented candles and oils is known to increase the effectiveness of anxiety reduction. So make sure to use scented candles and oils that appeal to you and your senses. Popular scents are rose, peppermint, clary sage, lemon balm, chamomile, and lavender. And all of those will help with stress. Nature and stress. So exposure to nature not only makes you feel better emotionally, it contributes to your physical well-being, such as reducing blood pressure, heart rate, muscle tension, and the production of stress hormones. All right, stress relief and home remedies. Some easy to do techniques. Have your favorite potted plants in your home or office. Diffuse your favorite essential oil. Essential oils and herbal baths. Take a walk in the park or just around the block if you're able to. Before bed, write down at least 5 things to be grateful for. And when you have a few minutes to yourself, try and do some deep breathing to help relax yourself. And in this pamphlet that I made, here, let me make sure you can show, everyone can see. It covers these areas. Everything that I read to you is here, and as we continue further down the slides, everything that people would normally write down, I put in the pamphlet for you guys. And then if you guys have any questions on the pamphlet or anything we covered, at the very end, I will be more than happy to. All right, so another thing we need to remember is that a poor diet filled with sugar and caffeine stresses out our bodies and overworks our systems. So when we get stressed out, there's little blood flow to aid our digestion. So try and eat in a calming and a relaxing environment. So if you're trying to eat and your kids are running around and they're being crazy and you're screaming and you're yelling at them to sit down and they just won't listen, that is not a calming and relaxing environment. So it's going to stress your body out, and it's not going to let your body digest your food properly. So you're going to actually lose some of those benefits of the food that you are eating. Herbs like Siberian ginseng help our body's ability to deal with stress. So if you know that you're going to have a full stressful day, maybe a cup of the Siberian ginseng in the morning to drink, or if you're not big on tea, they do sell the Siberian ginseng in capsule form, and you can always take that. So when we think of stress, we should always think of our adrenal glands. So we should always focus on the nutritional support on our adrenal glands. And the vitamins that they mainly need are vitamin C and B5. Now we're going to go over a little bit of what our adrenal glands are. And so what are adrenal glands? The adrenal glands secrete different hormones which act as chemical messengers. These hormones travel in the bloodstream and act on various body tissues to enable them to function correctly. All hormones are steroid compounds that come from cholesterol. So this is what our body does, or this is what our adrenal glands do. And adrenal glands and stress. So this is how it affects our adrenal glands and how the adrenal glands affect our body. So stress creates a hormonal and blood sugar changes that causes the body to excrete nutrients adversely, and it adversely affects our immune systems. So the adrenal glands are directly affected by the stress. They are responsible for the fight or flight response. So in stressful situations, they raise your blood pressure. They transfer blood from your intestines to your extremities, so like arms, legs, things like that. Increases your heart rate, suppresses your immune system, and increases your body's blood clotting ability. So people with weak adrenal glands frequently crave coffee, sugar, salt. Sugar and caffeine help stimulate the adrenal glands. So if they're weak, these are things that your body is going to crave to get them up and functioning because they are weak. So to effectively treat the adrenal glands, you have to eliminate as much stress from your life as possible, or your body's going to constantly secrete the hormones that make you feel like fight or flight, and then, panic attacks. And then more stress, obviously, you'll start causing heart problems, high blood pressure. And a lot of people who have high blood pressure, heart issues, if they were to maybe look at their overall life and see that maybe it's really stressful and trying to eliminate some of the stress, they will see a big improvement in their blood pressures and their heart disease, because it just helps. They go hand in hand. All right, stressors. So the different type of stressors: emotional, thermal, physical, and chemical. So the emotional stress is the kind of stress that most people think of when stress is mentioned, but there are many different kinds of stress. Thermal stress results from being exposed to extreme temperature. So if it's extremely hot outside, or like here in Wisconsin, a negative 30, when it's extremely cold, that's a thermal stress that we put on our body. Physical stress is from heavy physical work, poor posture, structural misalignments. So for example, structural misalignments, someone that has like scoliosis or have like a little hunch in their back, things like that, those are structural misalignments. Poor posture, what we all know, hunching over, slouching, are all part of poor posture. Lack of sleep and being overweight are all physical stresses. The chemical stress is from the ingestion of food additives, so exposure to pollutions and the consumption of sugar and alcohol. A lot of us live in a very fast-paced life, so we tend to stop at McDonald's and Burger King, Taco Bell, and other restaurants that we have here because they're convenient. Change in blood sugars also form a chemical stress. So when you intake a lot of sugar, like energy drinks, you can see that they actually cause a chemical stressor in your body. And that's why your heart starts pumping more and your blood pressure goes up. And some people, can feel warm and they feel amped. You're actually stressing out your adrenal glands. And that is what they call a chemical stressor. All right, let's move on. So the first one, hangover bath. Now we live in Wisconsin, we live in Milwaukee, we are known for beer. So I thought that a good one to post would be a hangover bath. They are juniper essential oils, ginger essential oils, fennel essential oil, and rosemary essential oil. You put a couple of drops of these into your bath towards the end because they will evaporate quickly if the water is really hot. So to get the full benefits, you're going to want to put it in towards the end or halfway through your bath and kind of soak in it. But this is a good hangover bath. All right, nervous exhaustion. So geranium essential oil, basil essential oil, and ginger essential oil. So if you know you have, like for me, I had this seminar to do today here at the community center for everyone, and I took a nervous exhaustion bath yesterday. So a lot of work I put into doing this today, and I was very nervous about coming up and speaking. And this actually worked very well for me. Now, sore muscle baths. Now this is really good for everyone. And I do this for my husband. And it's grapefruit essential oil, eucalyptus essential oil, and rosemary. So after a shower, we'll run the bath and we'll put some of those in. And this actually helps really well for his muscles. And afterwards, when he gets out, he actually feels more relaxed. He feels less tension in the muscles, and the muscles don't hurt nowhere near as before he had his sore muscle bath. Stress and insomnia. So if you feel like you can't sleep and you know that you're stressed out and you already know, okay, what my stresses are they're gonna keep me up all night. How am I gonna fall asleep? Juniper essential oil, lavender essential oil, and chamomile essential oil. With these three, you put them in your bath, relax for a little bit. Maybe put some meditation music on, kind of meditate, relax, and after your bath, you will feel a lot better, a lot calmer, and it'll be a lot easier for you to fall asleep. And all of these that I'm showing you will be able to find in the pamphlet that I have on the tables for everyone. All right, so calming and relaxing herbal baths or foot soak. So if you want to just kind of soak your feet, or if you want to take an herbal bath, which I love taking herbal baths, spearmint, comfrey root, chamomile flowers, and valerian roots are very good for calming and relaxing herbal baths. Dreamtime herbal bath. So Dreamtime, obviously, bedtime. So there is rosebuds and petals, chamomile flowers, and lavender. And on the table in front of you guys, I have some rose petals, some chamomile, and some lavender, so you guys can kind of smell them and kind of see what their aromas are like, and then you can kind of see why they would be so relaxing for a bath. Okay, so sorry, we had a little bit of technical difficulties. It kind of shut off. Right now, we can answer any questions that anyone has. Anybody?
Okay, I have a question. How long do you recommend meditation for a busy lifestyle?
Depending on how busy to fit in your schedule, I'll say at least try and do 10 minutes at least 2 or 3 times a week, even as little as 10 minutes. So if you know you're going to go take a bath and you take 15-20 minutes in your shower, maybe shower, and then the last of your shower time, use a bath and kind of meditate quietly by yourself, especially if you're in a household with a lot of people. So that's what I used to do, and that's what I still do.
When you're stressed out, like I find myself craving coffee and sugar, what would you use as a healthy replacement for that?
Okay, so what I use as a healthy replacement, I know not a lot of people might use it, is cocoa leaves. It's mate de coco, and you can find it online. And it's literally the cocoa plant. It's the leaves grounded into a powder. You can put like a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, depending. I would start off low, kind of see how your body reacts to it. But I find it not only does it enhance my mood, it is high in fiber, so it helps with your digestive system. It it gives you the energy just like coffee would, just like sugar would. For people that drink energy drinks like Red Bull, Monster, it can give you the same up, but it has a lot of vitamins, nutrients. It's a natural aphrodisiac. I mean, there's just so many benefits to the cocoa leaves that a lot of people don't know, because when they think of cocoa, they're like, oh, nope, it's a drug. But really, it's a plant. So that is my go-to instead of coffee. And it kind of does taste like grass. It's like almost like if you're outside eating grass, but it's really good. It helps a lot for a replacement.
Okay. So where do you buy a lot of these herbs, basically? Is there an online store you go to, or?
Well, I have my own store that I actually make products at, and it's going to be on the back of the pamphlet, Pachamama's Healing Cabinet. I have a Facebook page, so if you go on Facebook and you type that in, you're going to find my page. But where I buy my herbs is actually through my school, or where I get most of my herbs is through my school at their store. And there is a local store here in Milwaukee, near 13th in Oklahoma, called the Natural Food Shop, and they have like a wholesaler full of herbs. So if you find that you can't go online, or you don't have any bank cards or anything like that where you can go online and buy, there is the local store on Oklahoma and 13th.
Okay, and when you just mentioned your school right now, I have the question, what university was it that you attend?
It's American College of Healthcare Science. They're located in Portland, Oregon, and it's all online. It's I'm working towards my associates, so they have associates, they have bachelors, they have master programs, and they also have, for those who are already nurses and who are already like nurse practitioners, and they want to add on like a natural degree or natural certifications, they have those available for them as well. So it's actually a really pretty good school. All right, any other questions?
Okay, yeah, I have a couple more. What is your go-to remedy for stress that is your favorite?
The woods, Seven Bridges. Seven Bridges is my favorite stress reliever. Walking through the woods, going to the beach, sitting on the beach. For me, that's relaxing.
What about when it came to your like your herb baths and everything? What would be your favorite one out of those besides the natural? Just going.
I like the chamomile and lavender, and I do that for my son because he's very hyper, and sometimes at night he's not settled down yet, and a chamomile and lavender bath actually really relaxes him, and he kind of relaxes, he settles down, and he actually goes to bed at a decent time. So I use that for me, and I use that for him, so it actually works really well.
I don't think I have any more questions. If you're allergic to any of those kinds of scents, like, is there other things you can use other than that?
Yeah, so
some people have sensitive skin.
Yeah, so there is in chamomile, if people are allergic to like ragweed, I believe it is, chamomile has a compound in it that is similar that ragweed has. So if people who are allergic to that, there is a chance that they could be allergic to like chamomile. So lavender, if you just use lavender by itself, works just as good. If you use chamomile just by itself, it works just as good. Rosemary, for me, I wouldn't use it for like nighttime because I feel like it is more stimulates me to be up.
Right.
Those are other ones. So you would have to see what you might be allergic to. Now, some people don't know, and the best thing to do is for essential oils is always like a patch test. So what you're going to want to do is put like just a drop on a small patch of your skin and see how your body responds to it. If you see that it starts to turn red or starts to be a rash, then you know not to use that essential oil. If you see that within 24 hours there's nothing there, then you know that it's okay for you to use those essential oils. So that's the best way to test the essential oils. As far as the herbs, you would have to either know what you're allergic to, or, you know, either avoid using them or try and take the chance and try it. I mean, I don't know what would be the best way to test the herbal or the essential oil. Maybe if you're wondering about the chamomile, you can get a chamomile essential oil and kind of put it on your skin. They have the essential oil is just basically the, what is the word for it? The condensed, what is it? The concentrated form of chamomile. There you go. So if you don't have a reaction to the essential oil, then you'd probably be good as far as the herb goes. All right, any other questions? Okay, well, on the table there are some herbs, like I was saying earlier. If you want to kind of smell them and see what the aromas are like, I bring the ones that I have from my school, and then also my lavender, so you can kind of see what those are like. And everything that, I shouldn't say everything, most of the things that we covered as far as stress management and the remedies and all that, you can find in the pamphlets that I made for you guys today. And you guys can take these with you. There's highlighters and things like that on the table if you want to highlight some stuff that's important on your paper for yourself before everyone leaves. We can do that. There's some waters in the back. If anyone else has any further questions that they want to ask in private, I'm more than happy to answer those as well.